Hey girl, hey! Welcome to my channel. If you are new, hi gorgeous. I am Kadrian Carroll, and it's so nice to have you. Formerly known as Fancy. And if you're returning, you already know, ladies. I am just so ecstatic to kind of finally be back on a schedule. I've been so busy with so many things. Like we had the Dallas girls trip, which again, it was a lot. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a story time on it, but I'm thinking that I might not. This might be the story time for a girl. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of the beautiful, hardworking, selfless women out there. I just want to say I pray that our Abba Father, our Abba Yah, blesses you. I pray that he keeps you. I pray that his face shines down on you. I pray blessings and health and love and prosperity and everything that you do, y'all willing. Yeah, so I am just getting out of church with my mom. We were twins today. We was twinning it. We was twinning in our blue. So I'm going to insert a picture here. But yeah, I guess I can kind of do a quick story time. I was going to do a reaction video to a testimony, but I might save that for a later date because right now we have the AT&T guy working on our internet. And so I'm having a hard time connecting to the internet, and I don't want any interruptions. So I guess we're gonna do the Dallas story time. I do want to get content out to you, and yeah. So let's get into this story time.
Girl, she gone.
So I had the Dallas event like, it's been about 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks ago. And ladies, that's kind of why I went MIA. As you can see, I haven't posted on YouTube for about a month. And that's because I've been preparing. We have events to do. We have things to see. We have people to meet, you know. So, yeah. But this is what happened. So on this trip, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ladies. 4 ladies attended, and I wanted to make sure that we were going to have a huge event to go to. So we were going to do the Celebrity Classic. It was going to be at one of our exquisite resorts here in DFW, the DFW Metroplex. We have smaller ones, but this is one of the larger, on the larger sides, and a lot of people come here. So you see the celebrities who don't really have the skill to play golf going against the golfers who are actually pro golfers, but they don't really have that name, you know, unless they just, you know, golf out there for a living. So it's the people with the money who can't really golf versus the people who really can golf but might not have the money, or maybe they just I feel like the golfers had, everybody at this thing had money, but it was just giving very much the pros against the celebrities. So we did it that weekend for the Celebrity Classic, and yeah, I also wanted to set up a speed dating. Girl, the speed dating event was so beautiful. It was so nice. It was so fancy. And it had a very, very great amount of guys that showed up or participated in it. So I was pretty ecstatic about that. But let's get into it. So the girls flew in on a Thursday, and I wanted to make sure that everybody had their one-on-ones, because with smaller groups, I'm able to incorporate the one-on-ones better. So yeah, so we were planning on going to this one spot downtown, and it opens from 4 until, you know, whenever it closes. And the thing that I like about this spot, it's a nice spot, but it's not super formal. I like it because everybody who lives in downtown, everybody who lives in high rises, everybody who's used to the lifestyle, they go there for happy hour. So I was like, the neighbors go here, so I know the quality of people, and this would be a great place to kind of, do our one-on-ones, meet the girls, ask them, a few questions, so I can get a better idea as to how to assist them on their specific journey. So by the time we showed up at 4, lo and behold, it was a last minute event. And I was just so frustrated, just like, oh my goodness, the girl should be here like now. But thank goodness she was already there, and she was in the restroom, and she was like, hey, they said that they just had a last minute person book the whole entire place. And again, that's what my neighbors do. They will book the whole entire place last minute, and again, they're going to take the money and go with it. So they were just like, are you with the group? Are you with the party? And I was just like, no, because also it did kind of look like it was a formal event. And not saying that we weren't formal, but we were like more on the, freestyling aesthetic. So again, it's downtown. We just ended up walking over to the Henry. And if you've been to the Henry in Dallas, it's cute. It's okay. It's okay. Like, again, if you like that place, baby, nothing's wrong with it. It's just okay. So we went over to the Henry. It's cute. It's nice. And the first girl, we're going to call her... What are we going to call her? Zena. We're going to call her Zena. Should we call her Zena? I'm going to call her Zena. So the first girl, we're going to call her Zena. And she ended up showing up. She was from out of town. We had a great time kind of, discussing the things that, she wanted to work on and all of the things. And so with that being said, as we continue to go into the conversation and things of that nature, she kind of expressed how she was hoping, and she knew that it wasn't part of the, trip, me just connecting, guys with girls, because again, I am just meeting these ladies. Anytime I meet you girls, if I get a good feeling about you, if I just can tell your natural personality and the characteristics and all of the things, if I can kind of sense that and see that, yes, you'll be a perfect fit for a guy, then of course I'll do that. But again, I can't always guarantee that, because if you have that personality where, baby, you shouldn't be out there dating nobody, you have so much self-work to do, then again, you're going to feel some type of way when I say, okay, yeah, we have some work to do. So it's never guaranteed. But I was like, you know what? She wants to kind of hear a guy's perspective as to why they feel as if, she's in her situation. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's last minute. I have another girl, supposed to be meeting us here right after. So I checked the chat, and, the girl said that she's running kind of late. She really wanted to see me before she had her date. Again, when I do these trips or one-on-ones, I always like to incorporate, my girls setting up dates on their own. So you get used to understanding how it needs to be when you're traveling and things like that. If you're traveling for work, a family reunion, a graduation, whatever you're traveling for, even for a girls trip, you need to kind of make sure you have things set up out there. So the next girl, the first girl, Zena, she didn't have anything set up. That's why she kind of wanted to, get the opinion of a guy. And then the second girl, we're going to name her Zadia. We're going to name her Zadia. So, Zena and Zadia. So, the second girl is going to be Zadia. And, yeah, she was just like, Fancy, I really, really wanted to see you before my date. It's going to be in Frisco at this place, but I didn't realize how bad the traffic was. Is there any way, because I'm still getting ready, that you can, relocate the venue to, a place closer to our hotel? And what it was the girls weren't staying downtown because they were staying at the resort or near the resort, the country club, because of the event. We were there for a huge event that weekend. So yes, we were going to be doing other things outside of that, but it was centered around there. And since all of these celebrities fly in for this event and Dallas gets shut down for it, basically, all the girls wanted to stay in that area. So we were downtown so they can get used to, like, just the different, you know, places that they can go in the business district and, you know, just other places, you know, within the area when these men are getting off of work, when they're here for business, when they're conducting business meetings, when they're going for drinks or dinner or whatever the case may be. So I was just like, okay, after Zadia, I do have another girl. So remember, the first spot I picked had a last minute booking where they rented out the whole entire place. So I already changed the location once to the Henry. So for now, the second girl, for me to accommodate her to be able to change the location the third time, I'm just like, okay, let me see if it's okay with the other girls. Now, again, all of the girls are staying in the same area. So even if I did change it a third time, again, I don't like being unprepared or feeling as if, like, how can I say? Feeling as if I'm putting these girls in a situation where it's not a solid schedule. You know what I mean? I was just really trying to be accommodating to everybody. And so I was just like, okay, she really needs to see me before this before this, you know, date. And her date is like in 2 hours, basically. So I was asking the other girls, is it okay if I relocate another time? It's going to be closer to y'all. It's not going to be downtown. I'm going to come up towards y'all's side of town. I think it was like about 30 minutes west, 30 minutes northwest. And so it was like 30 minutes northwest of downtown Dallas. It was like, yes, cool, it's not a problem. So then that's when I changed the venue again. But this venue was so nice, baby. Listen, this place was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed it. It was real cutesy. I love live music. One thing about me, I love live music. I love live music. So the lighting, the music, everything like that. I was like, okay, this is cute. So again, remember, I left Zena at the first place. And she was just, you know, telling me how she wasn't able to secure a date and things like that. Or she hasn't really been on the sites like that. She kind of prefers more organic or natural, which is cool, you know, regardless of the fact. Her situation is totally different. And so what ended up happening was I said, I can see if I can get somebody last minute. So I knew this really, really nice guy. Again, he's super nice. He's very generous. He's very kind. And he's a gentleman. And he really takes care of business. He really takes care of business. So I was just like, it's going to be last minute. But I was telling him earlier at the gym, I was like, he was asking me what I was doing this weekend or whatever. And I was like, I was going out with some girls. We were going to have a girls weekend. I was like, you know what? He won't mind. He won't mind. And, you know, let's see if it's a connection. But again, it was really just to give her some feedback. And whatever happens, happens. So I hit him up and he was like, yeah, he was actually about to go out with some friends or something like that. So he's kind of casual. And I was like, listen, babe, hey, we out here. We not really worried about what you look like. You casual. Come on with it. So he ended up meeting us at this new place. And me and the other girls at this point, Zadia and what's the other girl's name going to be? Okay, so Zadia and Carly have just showed up. And I wanted to go ahead and get Zadia, you know, a little quick little one-on-one, a questionnaire, ask her a few things, ask her if there's anything that she was concerned about with this date. We kind of, you know, did the 1-2-1-2 really quickly so she could go ahead and get situated. She got to meet the other girl, Carly. And then again, Zena ended up coming and my guy ended up coming. So we got him situated. I introduced her to him. They sat down. They enjoyed each other. They had, you know, a good time, great conversation. And we were just like a few tables, like kind of a table away or something like that. And so as me and Carly are talking and, you know, going through, you know, some of her concerns and the things that she's looking to, you know, strengthen her journey and things like that, we kind of went like that. So that's how the first night went. We ended up meeting the girls. We didn't meet the next girl until the next day. Now the next girl, she is sweet. She's coming from the Jamaica trip. So she went on the Jamaica trip prior. We're gonna name this next girl Dana. So we didn't meet Dana until the next day, Friday. We didn't meet Dana until Friday. So when we met up with Dana, she was already coming in for a work trip or whatever the case may be. So she was one of our last minute babes who jumped on to the trip. So it was really, really It was a good group. It was a good group of girls. And so Friday, what we ended up doing was we ended up meeting at one of the nice bars downtown. Again, it's kind of like, if you know about it, you know about it. If you don't, you don't really know about it. But, you know, if you really in those circles, then you know about it. So we ended up planning to meet there to kind of freestyle, to, you know, see how the girls work rooms and all of the things. So, Carly ended up getting there first. And Carly was just like, hey, girls, with it being Friday, there's a lot of other women out on the prowl, which, again, a reminder, this lets you know that during the week is when you go to these places. Secondly, she also said that there were a lot of dates. So, again, that's a number 2. But remember, we had the weekend, so I still wanted to show them around and stuff like that, just to get a better idea as to kind of the places you should be going for freestyling in your city, in addition to that, just to check out Dallas. So, yeah, we ended up going to this cute Mexican spot. It has like a really cute cigar lounge up top. It's in the middle of everything. You have nice views. And I was like, we can go ahead and grab something to eat here. Had reservations and things of that nature. So we could just, you know, head out from there after. So, Carly ended up meeting me there. And me and Carly got there first. We were still waiting for Dana. Yeah, we were still waiting for Dana. But and she ended up going to that first spot where we were supposed to freestyle at, because Carly said that there was, like, you know, a lot of girls there, and she also said that there were a lot of couples. But Dana from the Jamaica trip, she don't play. Okay, so she ended up going to that same spot the day before, I think. And like I was telling you, girls, y'all mix and mingle with the bartenders and things like that. Don't get discouraged, because when she went back in there a second time, the bartender was like, hey, there's an attorney over there. Go over there and speak to him, or I'll introduce you. So I love that. So Dana, she wasn't at the Mexican restaurant with us yet. And so we ended up getting there, me and Carly. And when Carly came, we walked up to the front, and they were just like, yeah, do you have reservations? I was like, yeah, it's going to be for 5. They was like, is all your group here? And I was like, no, our group's not here yet. And they was just like, oh, well, we can't really sit you until your group gets here. So I was like, okay, cool. And I was checking to see where the other girls were. I think they were parking. And so Zena and Azadia rode together. And so they were still trying to park. Girl, they were like, as fancy is the valet free? And I was just like, I don't know if it's free or not. I valeted. And anytime I do valet, I'm always with the guy, so he always pays for it. So I don't know if it's free. But even if it's not free, you know, even if it's complimentary, we still tip. So, you know, I just love it like that. And so Zena and Zadia, they was they was gonna risk it. So they ended up parking across the street at the CVS. And I was just like, geez, I think they tow over there. And I was like kind of worried. But they said they was comfortable with it. They do it all the time. They risked it. I said, okay, baby, risk it. And so they ended up walking over. So now it was Zena, Zadia, and Carly and me. So, you know, the girl was like, is everybody here? Again, Dana's still over there at the other place talking to the attorney that the bartender just connected her with. And I was just like, yeah, everybody's here. So the lady went to go sit us down. We ordered food, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We chit-chatted. We were talking about, hey, where y'all wanting to go tonight? It is kind of late. Okay, we was supposed to be freestyling and doing all of the things before, like Dana. So is it, you know, y'all want to stay out tonight and see? Because I know some places where it's going to be an older crowd, but also because of the time, it's going to kind of be like a dead zone where, you know, the older men who want to be wild, not wild like that, but want to kind of stay up later than their bedtime and things like that, they stay up until like 9:30, 10 maybe, and then they're leaving. I said by the time we get over there, it's going to be like 11. What we going to be getting into at 11? Okay, so what ended up happening was Yeah. So what ended up happening was it was like, yeah, we still want to go. I was like, okay, there will be, another crowd, coming in around 12:30ish. I said, but again, it's smoking in there, and a lot of people don't know about this place. It is in the suburbs. It's in a very, very wealthy area. It's actually where I'm from. And only the people who live over there would know, because it is kind of like it's not the nicest. It's very much a hole in the wall. But when I tell you it's live music, nothing but jazz, and nothing but money. When I tell you it's nothing but money, nothing but money. So they were just like, yeah, we can do that. I was like, okay, I didn't bring my inhaler with me, but okay, I'm gonna take y'all over there. So we get done eating. Dana joined us. She got something to eat, and then we headed over to the next spot. And the next spot was like the little place I told you about with the live music and stuff. So me and Dana get there. Remember, Dana's been there all week for work. And remember that morning, because it was Friday, I didn't woke up at 4 in the morning. I didn't sat here, went to the gym, took my son to school, been out all day, met with all the girls the night before, and we've been out and about this evening. So I was like, okay, once me and Dana got there and we came in between the crowds, I was like, girl, I'm gonna get the girls here, get them situated, and I'm going to bed. I am tired. Like, girl, when I say I'm tired, I'm exhausted. So she was like, girl, I understand, because if I don't see anybody, I had to call it a night too, because I've been working all day. So the other girls came and they're chit-chatting and stuff like that. And the guys started coming in. Again, it is a younger than 50 crowd, like maybe 40 to 50 crowd during this time. And then, the older guys start coming in. Because again, at this point, it's 11 o'clock at night. And so, to get in, we're at the smoking bar area. Then there's a staircase that opens up into like the live performance hall, where they're playing like live jazz and live music and all of the things. So to get in there, you got to kind of pay to get in there. And I was like, y'all don't be paying to get in there. The guys will pay for you to get in there. So as I'm getting tired, exhausted, I'm like, okay, are y'all good? Are y'all situated? Everybody was good and situated. And I was like, let me know if y'all need anything. And so I ended up heading out after, making sure the girls were good and stuff like that. And the girls said that night they came across money. When I tell you money, they came across money. They said, Zena, had this wealthy whale, talking to her. Carly, they said, I'm trying to think, what did they say? They said Carly was kind of quiet. She was kind of quiet and just really cheesy. And again, I feel like a lot of girls can learn from the girls and the personality and situations and things like that. They said that she had a habit of wanting guys to start the conversation and coming up and approaching her. And again, it's about you being able to have that mouthpiece. You don't have to necessarily approach them, but, have some type of, have something to say to, kind of show that you're approachable and that they can speak to you. You know what I mean? So they said that she had, a few guys looking at her. And then, I think one of the guys got all of the girls into the live jazz part, which again, I know about the place. That's how it goes. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, because y'all, I went to the house. I was so exhausted. I knew it would be a lot of money there, because some of the guys that actually quite a few of the guys that I talked to, they go there, and all of their friends go there, and all of their buddies go there. And again, like I said, it's not one of the mainstream types of places. And I say that because a lot of the mainstream type of places, like the place that we plan to kind of freestyle prior to dinner, those types of places get flooded with a bunch of women hanging around looking for guys. And you don't know if those women are, extracurricular activity women, or if they're women who are genuinely looking for, kind of that expensive girlfriend type of genuine connection type of vibes. You know what I mean? So this place, you really see nothing but older women. And that's what we were kind of tickled about. You see older women that are filthy rich. They're so wealthy that they don't even care what they're wearing. You can tell. You say, girl, you shouldn't be wearing that. But let me not say nothing, because you look like money, okay? These women are just out having a good time and mixing mingling with the guys that are out having a good time and mixing mingling. So I knew that they would have a good time. So again, it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the Celebrity Classic, and it was going to be a 3-day event held at the country club, and our tickets were supposed to get us in all 3 days, and we were just supposed to be on golf level, I believe, golf floor level. So we were, going to do everything on Saturday. After, we were going to, get something to eat, check out the golf courses and things like that, mix and mingle. We had speed dating planned. We didn't go to the country club because we had a huge storm. Saturday, we ended up having a huge storm, so everything got canceled, basically. So Zadia ended up saying that the guy, because remember, Zadia had to leave early, the guy that she saw the day before ended up, cashing her out. And I believe she said that she had a date with him again that Saturday. I'm not really sure. But it ended up getting, we got flooded out. We got washed out and things like that. So, we still wanted to, I think that, the Celebrity Classic ended up getting canceled because it was raining, which was great. It was golden because there was going to be people that came on Friday, people that come on Saturday, and people that come on Sunday. Now, because Saturday got canceled, all of the people would be there on Sunday. So that means that we would have not missed any of the crowds. We would have got everybody at the right place at the right time. So I was just like, oh, I like that. So we got flooded out. They canceled the Celebrity Classic event for Saturday, but we were going to still do the speed dating event. So the girls got situated. They did their things during the day as much as they could because everything was shut down. It was so wet. And we ended up swimming to the speed dating event. The speed dating event was at a new venue, and it was at this beautiful venue, a brand new venue. And after the speed dating, they had like a little mingling mixer with the guys and the women who went to the speed dating, along with I think business professionals or something like that. So we ended up getting to the speed dating. We haven't heard from any of the girls. I just heard from Dana, and Dana was like, yeah, she just got there, and I think she said parking was like $40 or something. She's like, yeah, parking in the garage is $40, but I think the first 4 hours it's free. And then I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and valet. And then she was just like, oh, okay, and so and I only went to valet because, number one, it was raining so hard. It was flooded. Everything was flooded. And like when I say swimming there, we literally, when I got into the building finally, I had to go to the restroom and draw off with so many paper towels. That's how wet and soaked I was. So I ended up saying, you know what, let me go, valet. And, and I think the valet was like $80 that day. So I ended up valeting, and when we went into the event, it was so hard to find within the rain and all of the things, because it's like one of those outside mall event centers, convention center type of things, where they have all of these, music things and music auditoriums. It's like an entertainment area. It has like a lot of things going on in that little entertainment shopping center. So we ended up finally finding our way, and we didn't hear from the other girls. We didn't see them. They weren't responding in the group chat or anything like that. So we were like, okay, we hope that they're okay. But at this point, the speed dating started at 5:30, and I think it's like 6:20 at this point. We got there at 5:45. We didn't find parking until 6, when I finally decided, let me just park and valet. And then we ended up getting in there and finding the actual place at 6:15. So we ended up going to the place, and Dana's the only person I heard from. And so I ended up drying off, getting myself situated, and then Dana ended up coming in, and I ran into her as soon as she was walking in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you made it. Have you heard from the girl? She said no. So I was like, okay, well, let's go check out, I don't know if this speed dating started already. Let's go check it out. We ended up checking it out and everything, and come to find out the girls were already up there. So Zena and Carly were already up there. Now Nadia, I believe she was still lost at this point. We haven't heard from her, but I think she was still lost. And so I was like, where have y'all been? Y'all wasn't going to tell us nothing? Oh, we did say something in the chat. I was like, girl, no, you didn't. We have been blowing up the chat like, are y'all okay? Are y'all still coming? It's crazy out there. We just wanted to make sure y'all were good. They were like, oh, we did. And then they said, oh, well, we didn't send we didn't send it. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm glad y'all made it, basically. So now it's 4 of us and we're still missing 1. So now at this point, it's my job to find out, like, Zadia, girl, where are you? So Zadia's over here like she's gonna turn around. The rain is so bad, like she's soaking wet at this point. She's out of her slides. I think she had flats or something like that. Like it was just like crazy. And so we was like, girl, you are almost there. Like, listen, where are you at? We'll come and get you. And so this is what me and Dana was saying. I think Zadia and Carly were at the bar, drinking and mixing and mingling with the guys and the ladies, or just the people, the participants, because thankfully they pushed the speed dating event from 5:30. They pushed it back to 7 something because of the weather. It was so bad. So finally Dana ended up making her way in, and everybody looked so great. Everybody looked great, and it was time to start. Now, when we ended up starting, it was a great mix of guys. We had doctors, we had people in real estate, we had people in finance, I would say it was about 50% Indian, which, again, listen, I love me an Indian man, surely do. And it was about 20% other, meaning Middle Eastern or something else, like some type of Asian or something like that. 20 to 25% of that. And then it was like 10% to 15% of like white guys, and then it was like 1 black guy. So yeah, it was a good mix of guys. It was about 16 girls and 14 guys. So that means that 2 girls would be by themselves on some of the rounds. But when I tell you, baby, my seat wasn't empty the whole entire time. And I don't think I wasn't really paying attention, but I don't think the girls' seats were empty not one time either. So how they did it was we would each get a card. We would have a number on the table. We'll have our name. And instead of saying no, where I don't want to match with you or whatever, you write down the person's name and their number, like their number 1, number 2, number 3. I think I was number 3. And so you write down the person's name and their number, and then say yes or no why you want to match with them. And so if the guy circles yes, he wants to match with you, and you circle yes, you want to match with him, then the people hosting the speed dating event will email each other's contact information. So it's kind of nice because you don't have to feel obligated like, that was 5 minutes. No, I'm not interested in you. No, it's really like, it's like nice. So what ended up happening was, after we got done with the speed dating, it was a mix and mingle. Again, that speed dating was, baby, listen, having 5 to 7 minutes with each person, it was so exhausting. I was tired. I was like, are y'all sure? Y'all can leave. Y'all can skip my chair if you want to. But I feel like I liked like maybe 3. I think I like 3 or 4, because again, y'all remember now, as I'm taking my relationship with Christ more serious. I'm valuing, or I'm adding on to my standards, meaning they have to be a Christ follower. They have to believe what I believe. They have to be saved. They have to have their own relationship with Christ. So, even though there were some guys that could have definitely cashed out on me, I was just like, nah, let me go ahead and stick to who qualifies at this point in stage. So I mentioned with you guys, but the funny thing is, we ended up so Carly ended up having her first date right after the speed dating, and he wasn't from the speed dating. He was a guy that she secured a date with prior to the trip. Like I said, I told the girls, send me your profiles, send me some of the situations, if you need help, if you need. I had them a list of dinner places to go to for dates, places to go to for freestyling, and all of the things. So I had the whole setup for them. So she was like, yeah, right after speed dating she was gonna head out. But I didn't know that this speed dating event would have a mixer at the end. So when we had the mixer at the end, all of the people got to mix and mingle, and we had new people come in, and the venue was beautiful. So we ended up going out to like the ballroom kind of area and on the balcony. and on the balcony inside, overlooking the stage. You could tell it's like a performance hall, a very nice performance hall. So I was sitting, standing next to Dana, and Dana had her purse and her things. I think she needed to go to the restroom, so she ended up just walking away and leaving her purse. But I was like, does she need to go to the restroom, or is she just leaving her stuff? Did she expect me to watch it? What's really, really going on? So what ended up happening was, I just said, you know what, let me give her a little bit and let me see. So next thing I know, an Indian guy, he ended up, let's just call him Indian guy number one. He ended up coming, and I only say that because not trying to be disrespectful or offensive. Two of the guys I matched with had the exact same name, and they were both Indian. So let's just say this is Indian guy number one. And he ended up grabbing me saying, come on, let's go. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm not ready yet. And also he was somebody I didn't match with. So I was just like, So, yeah. So I was like, oh, I can't. I have to watch my friend's stuff. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, I did know that y'all came in as a group. I said, how you know we came as a group? Y'all was looking at us. Y'all peeped us again. We came in with 5 girls, remember? Out of all the other, and they did have us kind of lined up. They was like, so you peeped, we was all together. And another guy did peep that. A doctor that I matched with, he ended up peeping that we were all together. We kind of came in a click, a little clickety clack clack click. So I was just like, yeah, the girls that I came with. And he was like, okay, I don't mind waiting. So I don't know what happened to her. She took a minute, so I ended up covering up her purse and, you know, getting it out of eyes view, because I was like, she didn't ask me to watch it, and I don't know if she needs me to watch it, and I don't know. So I ended up covering up her stuff, and they offered free finger food, like free appetizers and things like that for everybody who participated. So they came out and they brought the food out, you know, on trays and laid it out for everybody. And so the Indian guy wanted to grab my hand and take me over there to get some food, and I was like, babe, no. If you want to talk to me, we're definitely going to go to the bar and order me some food. First and foremost, I don't want anybody breathing over my food. Second, I don't want what everybody else had. And third, like, yeah, you're going to have to spend some money. So we went to the bar, and he ended up telling them, yeah, can we get a menu, da 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 da. So when he pulled out the menu, he was just like, oh, just to let you know, I only eat chicken. And I'm thinking to myself, well, baby, that's fine. You're trying to order me something to eat. Like, why am I worried about you and the chicken that you eat? That's not my business. So, you know, but I ended up ordering something that was like chicken based. I think it was really good actually. And so what ended up happening was, after I ordered the thing that was chicken based, I ended up, after I ordered the thing that was chicken, they ended up bringing it out. And so it came like 3 little things. And so when this man grabbed one of the chicken things, I said, no, he didn't. No, he did not. But he did. And so I ate my little one, and I looked at that last one, and he was like, oh, you can have, I can have my food that you bought for me? I can have the food that you bought for me, sir. Well, thank you. So we ended up finishing up, and he's telling me how he's planning on going to a comedy show after. Y'all, my camera died, so I took a nap. So please forgive me if my voice sounds sleepy, and please forgive me if I'm looking as if I've been asleep, because your girl have. So back to the Indian guy number one. We was at the bar after we got done eating. He was saying that he has a comedy show. A comedy show to go to right after. I believe at this time it was like 8:39. It was like 9 o'clock, and he said that the comedy show started at 9:30. So I was kind of happy because this man started to hold my hand. He held it kind of tight, like we were interlaced, like our arms were like this, and I was like, sir, give me my arm back. And everybody was looking at me like, and I didn't know if it was like, because I don't care if people are looking. It doesn't matter who I'm out with. It doesn't matter if the person's older, different background, ethnicity. It didn't matter. What mattered to me was that this was a speed dating. And I specifically matched with a few guys, and I specifically didn't match with a few guys. And the few guys I matched with was staring at me with a guy that they don't know that I didn't match with, and they're just probably thinking like, okay, like she know who she chose. So he had my hand interlaced, and then he was just like, yeah, I want to take you to the bowling, I want to take you golfing, you did say y'all were here for a golfing tournament, what about Top Golf? And I was like, no, we like really golf, like it's like a golf course, you know, you want to take me to a country club, you're gonna let me be your guest, your plus one, like that's the kind of vibes, you know, I was going for. So he was like, oh no, I'm not a member of a country club. Yeah, I know, that's why I match with you. But thank you. Oh, it's cold. So, but no, we're just talking. And he's just telling all the plans that he has for me. And I love that. Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, says the Adonai. Plans of good and not of evil, to give me a future and a hope. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. So I kept on saying, babe, are you not going to be late for your little comedy show? And I hate that I can't go with you. It's just so last minute, and I'm out with the girls. And he was like, no, we're going to do something tomorrow for sure. And I'm thinking, sir, I just told you already that we have a tournament to go to tomorrow, but whatever. Oh, yeah. So he let go of my hand, and he was like, okay, I guess I'll get ready to go. So he paid for my thing and everything like that. He said, did you validate your ticket? Because you know they took care of the $40 ticket for the parking garage. And then I was like, no, I valeted. It's like $80. And then he was just like, oh, okay. And then he got up and he left. And I was like, Okay, I didn't match with you. Oh, no, but before he got up and left, I think, I don't know how it happened, but he asked me for my number, and I was thinking to myself, no, because, sir, remember, if we match, we match. But I kind of got off the subject, and I was in my phone, and before I knew it, I was reaching over the bar for the mocktail menu. And this whole time I've been drinking water. And so I was reaching over the bar for the mocktail menu, and next thing I know, he had my phone, and he was putting his number in, and he called himself. So I'm like, geez, not only is he going to get the results and see that I did not match with him because they're not going to provide my information, but now he has my number and he's going to let me know that we didn't match and that he knows that we didn't match. Ugh. I was like, okay, whatever. He got up, he left. And so the chair was empty for like maybe 2 seconds. And the Indian got number 2. Now, this guy I did match with. I really, really liked him. So we matched, and he was like, again, I didn't know he was trying to sit by me. Like, of course, why wouldn't he? But I wasn't sure that he was trying to sit by me. I was just trying to kind of relieved that the other guy left. Because at this point, I haven't got to check on the girls. I haven't got to mix and mingle. I haven't got to get up and talk to the other business professionals. I just been, baby, listen, he had me hand in hand. We were hand in hand. And because we were hand in hand, I couldn't get away. So this was my opportunity to get away. So this guy went ahead and, sat next to me. And he was like, wow, there was a line for you. I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, there's been guys waiting to talk to you. And I'm just like, geez, I haven't went to the bathroom to like freshen up, like fix my hair, make sure my lipstick is okay, make sure all of my stuff's okay. And everybody's trying to talk to me. I'm thinking to myself, what about all the other girls that are here? And but again, I'm not saying that this is just what's going through my head, because I was kind of a bit flustered, because it wasn't so much of me being there for speed dating. It was more of me to be there, for the speed dating. And if the girls needed me, then I would have been there. And so thank goodness that they were doing good. They didn't need to do this. But I was still like, okay, I'm gonna have to get up if somebody needs me during this time. So me and Indian got number 2. I really liked him. So me and Indian got number 2. We were sitting down talking and discussing things. And before we could continue, the older guy, I think he was like 72. He was a 72-year-old white guy. Let's just call him 72-year-old white guy. He's going to He's gonna just interrupt. He's like, you know what, girl, I don't have time to continue to wait in this line. Call me. This is what he said. He said, call me. And I'm thinking to myself, sir, we did not match. We did not match. But remember, there were plenty of guys that I would have matched with if I wasn't serious about my walk with Christ and dating intentionally now for marriage, which means that my husband or potential husband has to have a relationship with Christ. And so 72-year-old guy, he was the oldest guy there, because the funny thing is the age range was 20 something to 40 something, like 44, 46, 47, 48, something like that. But the funny thing is, and they do that because the older it gets for the speed dating, some of the older crowds may want to stay with older crowds, and some of the younger crowds want to stay with younger crowds. So they don't mix the 20-year-olds all the way up to the 80s. But the reason why I picked this group is because I kind of knew there would be older people there, and there were plenty of people that were way older than 44. So again, there wasn't that many young guys, but yeah, there weren't that many young guys, but because this speed dating, the tickets were a bit more expensive than the other ones. Like, if y'all want to run down on how to pick speed dating and, you know, what questions to ask while you're speed dating and what questions to ask on the follow-up and all of the things, join the Patreon. I did upload a post a week ago. About yeah, the details. So yes, there were guys way older, and because the tickets were a bit more expensive than the other tickets on the market for speed dating, I knew it would kind of weed out the broke people, the dusty people, and like the super young people with no money. So it was a great group of guys, I will say. So yes, he was 72, knowing good and darn well the speed dating only went up to 40 something, and they don't check ID. So if you do want to sign up for like the older crowd, and I think the older crowd is like 45 until 60 plus or something, they're not going to check your ID, sis. They definitely didn't check Mr. 72-year-old guy. So he going to tap me talking about interrupted me and the ending on number 2. And he's talking about how oh, he not gonna wait in line no more. He got to go home at this point. And he said, call him. And I was like, okay, will do. But no, it wasn't a match with him because he's from, I believe, I don't know where he's from, but he lived in New Orleans about 20 to 30 years. And I don't know, it was just something about him that gave witchcraft. It was a Holy Spirit discernment in me. Something about him that gave very much witchcraft. But you also got to know, witchcraft is everywhere. But in New Orleans, witchcraft is heavy. Same thing with, what are those people called? Haiti. But again, witchcraft can be anywhere. I'm just saying that, you know, it's more like higher chance, higher probability. So I was like, no, I'm not one of them. So I was like, let me not match with him. But he did seem generous, and he did seem like a lot of money. But again, I'm not on that, you know, anymore. Yes, you have to be in a certain tax bracket. Yes, you have to be generous. Yes, you still have to invest into me. But if God isn't number one, and if you associated with all of the things of the devil, then no, sir, you still don't qualify. It's just not going to work out. So I smiled and I waved him off. I said, take care. So the ending on number 2 continued to talk to me. And he was such a vibe. We had such a good time. We were talking about so many things. And the only thing with him that really made me sad, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you that. But, yeah, I really liked him. So before we kept on talking. And another guy came up. This guy, he's a white guy. He is a younger white guy. And you could tell he's very techie and stuff like that. Now, I will say some of these guys were in tech. Some of these guys were engineers. Some of these guys were doctors. Some of these guys were finance, real estate. Yeah, it was a good variety, but some of them had some tech background. Again, tech, I don't think it's enough for me. But this white guy, I'm trying to think, did I match with him? I don't think I matched with him, because it really gave very much like, no, I'm not going to tell you what it gave, but it gave, I don't know. He just gave one of those white guys that I don't know. And I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful. So I'm not going to tell y'all what I thought. But he gave one of those white guys that you could tell they don't get out that much. And that they could possibly be very, very emotional. And very, very dangerous. That's what he gave. So I was just like, we're not going to be a match. And so it was the Indian guy number 2. It was me. And then it was the white guy. He just sat down. And I was still talking to Indian guy number 2. So then he tapped on me. He said my name. He was like, Kadrian. And again, for the speed dating, I used my my government name. Because again, like, I do vet my men before, you know, going out, moving forward, whatever. But this was speed dating. Everybody was using their real name or a name. I think the girls used whatever name they were comfortable with. And because I haven't been going by fancy lately, I've been going by my government name. I use my real name. So he said Kadrian. And I was like, hey. And he was like, sorry to interrupt. I didn't know if this was something intimate. I don't know what y'all are talking about, but I wanted to kind of get in here. I just called my Uber. And he was just like, it's so... Indian guy number 2, he wasn't playing about me. He wasn't. So what happened was, he was like, excuse me, sir. Yeah, we was having a conversation. And then the white guy was like, okay, well, I would like to join the conversation. And the Indian guy was like, no, were you not just over there with one of her friends? And he mentioned Zadia. Was you not just over there with Zadia? Now, I didn't know he was downstairs with Zadia. I didn't know who he was with. Because, again, I've been busy the whole entire night. And I've been like on lockdown. So I haven't got a chance to look around, stretch my neck. I just got a chance to check the chat, make sure everybody was okay. And I was like kind of on lockdown. And so, but I know, Dana, she was a couple of seats down from me, and she was talking to some guys here and there. So I kind of had my eye on her. Remember, Carly left exactly after the speed dating, so she didn't get to engage in the mix and mingle. And then Zena ended up leaving. She didn't let me know when she left, girl. I feel like this is how it is in the trip. Some of the girls we click, or whatever the case may be. And some of the girls, I can hook you up with a guy. The guy can give you feedback. Because remember, Zena is a girl who last minute, I called a guy for her. Last minute, a guy showed up. And they had a great time. Both of them enjoyed the conversation and stuff like that. He did give me feedback as far as, you know, why he felt like she was in her situation. And it really confirmed everything that I said to her prior. And that's why I don't mind getting that confirmation for you girls to have that confirmation from a male perspective. But because I do this, what I'm telling you is factual. And so, yeah, he gave her the confirmation and stuff like that. And even Carly, because at that time she wasn't getting dates like that out there yet. And the date that she went on that night was confirmed, I guess, after. Carly was asking me, did I have somebody else to last minute do it? And again, that's when I feel bad, because again, I don't like doing last minute things. And for one-on-ones, it's easier because I can find one guy last minute. If your personality is, you know, matches, I can find you last minute a guy. But to find each girl in this thing last minute, I was like, but I did try. And the guy that I did reach out to, I didn't hear from him. So I was like, Carly, girl, the guy that I feel like could be your match, or could be a match, or something could happen from it. I think he's not in town right now because he's a pilot. And, you know, he's flying and stuff like that. And so, and normally he gets back to me pretty quickly. So I didn't hear from him just yet. And then she was just like, okay. So, yeah. So Zena, again, after me looking out and all of the things, like, she was kind of distant. Again, I don't have a problem with any of the girls on these trips. They conducted themselves as ladies. There wasn't any drama. There was no problems. There was like a kind of, you know, a disagreement in the way some of the things are handled. Like, if we're out in a group, like, let the girls know if we asking, where you at? Like, because we was all waiting. We could have came upstairs. And I just thought that was crazy. And even in this situation, I think Zena ended up leaving right after the speed dating, not letting anybody know what was going on. But baby, just the other day, when I got one of my guys last minute to come, me and Carly stayed hours later just talking, just to make sure you weren't at the restaurant with the guy by yourself. Not saying that he wasn't safe, but so you felt comfortable. And even when we were about to leave, I came and hugged you to make sure you were feeling comfortable. So why would you just leave and I don't know where you are? If you left, you didn't go. So Zena then left, girl. And then Carly, I knew she was leaving, so she left. So it was only Zadia, Dana, and me at the speed dating this whole entire time. So as the Indian guy is talking to the white guy, the Indian guy is saying, was you not just with Zadia? And I was just like, wow, not him with Zadia. And he was like, and the white guy was like, yeah, so she's fine. And then he was like, okay, well, maybe you should go keep her company or something. He was like, no, I'm fine right here. Or if I'm not wanted, what do you think, Kadrian? I was like, you know, who would have thought these Indian men don't play about their child? I knew they didn't play about me, but I didn't know that they were that bold with other guys. I was like, okay, sir, I match with you. No, not like that. But I just, like, I don't know. I just thought that it was real cute. I was like, okay, y'all don't be fighting or nothing. Because I really didn't match with you, sir. I matched with him. But I was just like, yeah, we were kind of having a conversation. Is everything good? He was like, well, what are y'all talking about? At that time, we were talking about Jesus. Y'all, I was not playing about my Lord, my Savior. Okay. And so, and the guy that I was with, I think he's Hindu. Yeah, I think he was Hindu. And so we were just talking about, dating and religion and things like that. And so, the white guy was like, oh, well, I'm a Christian too. I believe in Jesus. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, tell me about it. He was like, oh, well, he's not that important to me. Like, he's on my back burner. And I was just like, the disrespect. It's just like, why sit here and claim or say that you are a child of God, or, you reflect Christ, or you believe in Jesus, but then, disrespect him, you know what I mean, and just say, oh no, he on my back burner. There's not no religion out there that people believe in, whatever. It could be whatever false god, whoever they believe in. There's not a religion out there somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, they're on my back burner. It's like either you are a follower of that religion or you're not a follower of that religion. You have a relationship, with God, or you don't have a relationship with God. And I was just looking at, that's so disrespectful. I was just like, at this point, my guy, I was like, you can go. I was like, because that's just crazy. That's just like, example, that's like you having, it's Mother's Day. You having a mother that has taken care of you, that's given birth to you, that's given everything for you. She sacrificed everything for you. She pours into you. She's raised you up. Anything you've ever needed, whether it's money, emotionally, physically, it's roof, everything she's provided. But you've kept her on your back burner, and anytime you hang out with any of your other friends or anytime any other women come along, you treat them like the mother that she is to you, but that they've never been to you, if that makes sense. So you don't treat your mom good as her daughter, but you treat other women good and you're not their daughter. That's kind of the betrayal it is for you to sit here and say, hey, you believe in X, Y, and Z, but then, oh, he on my back burner. It's like, sir, you're not a believer. So I was just like, I can't even, you know what I mean? And like I said, the guy that I was talking to, he was Hindu. And so, like, if you know Hindu, they believe in all of the false gods, it's really, well, if you don't know, it's a bunch of demons. I believe they worship or acknowledge over 500,000. I think within the religions, like 500,000 demons, but they believe that they're gods of this, gods of that, gods of destruction, gods of all these, but they're really demons. And so I was just thinking to myself, and even in the Bible, the word says, I'd rather you be hot or cold, but not lukewarm. So being a lukewarm Christian, saying that you are a believer, saying that you are saved, saying that Christ is your Savior, and not abiding by, his laws. The Bible says that Yahweh says, I will chew you up and spit you out if you're lukewarm. it's better for you to be a believer or not a believer. Excuse me. So as soon as he said that, I was like, you gotta go. But I continued to talk to, so after that conversation, he kind of saw how I was like, and he was like, well, let me go ahead and go. Because I think I told him, you know what? I pray that he, prioritize his relationship with Christ. I sat here and I said, because it's the most important thing that any of us could ever do. And with him having the opportunity and the advantage of knowing Christ versus other people who might not even believe or never been taught about Christ, I sat here and I was like, it will be the one thing in your life that you would regret, letting slide. So after I said that to him, bless him. Yeah, bless you. And, he got up and left. So, me and the Indian guy number 2, he was like, whoa, I saw how you were just like, with the disrespect. And like, he was kind of apologetic. I was like, yeah, you wouldn't even say that about, we've been saying how we don't believe and you don't believe. Well, I don't believe in what you believe at all whatsoever. You know what I mean? And you sat here and I asked him about Jesus. I was like, okay, well, you being a Hindu, what do you think about Jesus? How do you feel about Jesus? And he said that, I think he said that he believes that he was a good person, especially if he died on the cross, if he died for people's sins. And, I think that's what he said. Or something like that. And so that was the only thing when I found out that he was Hindu. And again, like he said that he's dated other girls of other religions and stuff like that. I just couldn't, because I know the importance of, when two walk together, they can't walk together unless they agree. And also the Bible says you have to be equally yoked. So that was the only thing with him. I was just so sad that, we got along so well, all of the things. And, like, it was just it's the relationship with Christ. And I was like, that's more important than the money. I sat here and I said, not saying that the money's not up there, not saying you have to have one or the other. You have to have both. So you have to be financially up there and you have to have a relationship with Christ. Those are things that you have to have. And if you don't have both of them, then I was like, And he had the money and the personality and chemistry and all of the things, but it was just the Hinduism. And the interesting thing was, we've been reading in our prayer books, just repentance and things like that against certain things that we may have engaged into unknowingly, like yoga and what is the black and white symbol? What is it? The yin and the yang and the incense and all of these things that people, the evil eye and the waist beads and all of these, things that are tied to witchcraft or, idol worship or false god worship. And we were actually on Hinduism. We were actually on Hinduism in that week. I even was watching a video, a deliverance video off of Hinduism. And so I knew quite a bit prior to going to the speed dating thing, but I didn't think I would come into somebody who was a Hindu or whatever the case may be. But he was a great guy. He just wasn't a guy for me. And, I really pray for him and his family and, his life and stuff like that. So, we were talking about that. And I'm thinking, did another guy come up? Another guy came up. And at this point, this guy, I think he was with the group of Zadia and Dana. Because at this point, Zadia and Dana got together and they were talking to a group of guys. The guys were from the business professional side. They didn't go to the speed dating. And so these guys were black guys. Because remember, there was only one black guy in the whole entire speed dating thing. And these were the business guys. And they were the black guys. And they came, to the after mixer. And so they were asking us, did we want to go after to X, Y, and Z? And I think the girls were saying, hey, I believe it, we're going to see what Fancy wants to do, basically. And then the guys were like, who's your third girl? Who's Fancy? And they pointed to her and they were like, okay, I'm going to ask her. So one of the guys came over and asked me while I was still with my guy. And then I looked at him And the Indian guy was like, no, she's good. And I was glad he said it because he kind of saw my face. It wasn't like he was just rude and speaking for me. It was just like I was like, and I was about to say, no, I'm not finna go. Because I think they mentioned something dusty, y'all. I think they mentioned someplace dusty. When they said Deep Ellum or something, I think they said Deep Ellum. And I was just like, no. Like, if you go to Austin or 6th Street or something like that, you know the kind of vibes. Like, Deep Ellum is not where classy people go. Like I said, the place I took them girls the night before, late at night, yes, a place like that, wealthy people go there even late into the night. But Deep Ellum, unless you want to risk your life, you know, you feeling kind of risky, you want to walk down the street and dodge bullets and stuff, you want to bar hop, it's not giving. So I was kind of like, but before I could say anything, the Indian guy did take charge. I do like an assertive, confident man. So I do like how he, you know, kind of took charge and was like, no, we're good, you know. And he said, okay, no problem. Cool. So this guy, he was asking me, did I get my ticket validated because they were validating the $40 tickets. I was like, no, I valeted. It's like $80. Oh, he was like, no problem. I'll take care of it. Whatever. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know who you match with. You know why you match who you match with. So he was going to walk me into my car, and we ended up getting up and starting to leave. And when we were, you know, leaving, the other girls were leaving right behind us, and everybody was good. I believe that Dana had to go back and get her jacket, and I believe Dana and Zadia were going to ride together, because I know Dana had a rental car. Zadia didn't. Carly didn't. And Zena did have a rental car. So they were going to ride together, and they said they were good. And so as we were walking out, the Indian guy that I was talking to, he was just like, yeah, I know those guys. I have a finance group on the side, and they're they're a part of the group or whatever. And that's how I know them. They were probably a bit surprised because they probably haven't seen me since my ex. And I was telling you about her, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, you know, and I was surprised too because, you know, I knew he had a girl, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, does he have money? And he was like, oh, he's you know, he's a decent guy. That's just what he said. And so I was like, I'll tell the girl, you know, that he has a girl, or might have a girl, or maybe not have a girl. He's like, no, I don't know if he do or not. Last time I remember he did. But, you know, I guess the last time he remembered I did. He might not know more. I was like, okay, well, thanks for looking out. I'm just going to give her the information. And I did, just to look out, you know. But again, she's going to do what she does with information. I don't know. I was just relaying what, you know, I heard. He's in a finance group. He used to be ex-military, and he may or may not have a girl. Just putting it out there, letting you know, girl. And so she was like, okay, yeah, he is in the ex-military. I know exactly who you're talking about. And then, because again, it was a group of them. And so as we were walking and we were leaving, he was such a gentleman. He was so sweet. We ended up walking on the sidewalk, and we saw a man, older white man, tall older white man. He's sitting on the concrete. At this point, it's like 10 o'clock at night, 10:30. And he's sitting on the concrete, and his face is blood, like busted and leaking, like blood everywhere. And you see a huge puddle of blood. And it's like, I don't know if he was drunk and tripped or stumbled face first into the concrete, because that could have possibly been how, yeah, or if somebody did something to him. I don't know. So you really couldn't tell. And so he was like, yeah, I'm glad I walked you to your car. And so as he got me situated and all the things, you know, he got back to his car because he parked on the way other side. I think he ended up doing the garage like everybody else. I think I was the only one who I think it was the only one who valeted. But me, listen, I'm a valet. And so, yeah, guys, so y'all definitely try speed dating. It was a blast. So I did get my emailed connections a couple of days later. So, yeah, I'll keep you updated on those. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, so the next day came. The girls got home. I don't believe they went out with the guys. The girls ended up getting back to their hotel rooms and all of the things. So the next day was the official day for the Celebrity Classic. We are on the golf course, all of the things. And so we were outside. I literally that morning had church and I had a date. I had church and I had a date. And then after that, I was meeting the girls up for, you know, the Celebrity Classic. So I was looking in the chat, and one of the girls, I think she said she got there at 12, but Dana got there before 12 noon. And I was at a church by then because church was over at 11. And so, yeah. So, yeah, Dana got there before 11. She said she wanted to check the spot out. She wanted to see who else was going to be there. Now, Carly, she ended up, let me think, saying that she was going to be there a little later, like sometime after 12:30 or something like that. And I guess Zena didn't say anything. And Zadia, she was leaving on a flight. Yeah, her flight was leaving on Sunday, actually. Because remember, we were supposed to be doing all this stuff on Saturday, but it got flooded out, so it got moved to Sunday. And so she was leaving, so she said she wanted to check out her hotel room. They were going to hold her bags and stuff like that, her luggage, at the hotel. And then she said she'll head over, so, you know, once she's done, she can just pick up her luggage and go straight to the airport. So she was going to be there later. So I guess Dana was up there. None of the girls showed up, or they weren't really communicating, or whatever the case may be. And I think finally Carly followed up and said she was on her way, but then Dana was like, she left. She had to finish up a date as well, and so she's gonna have to catch her later. So she ended up to go finish up a date. Dana finished up a date, and when she finished up a date, she ended up coming back a little later, around the same time I was getting done with my little date, and we met over there. Now, I believe that, you know, by the time she went back, she still didn't see Carly. Again, I'm not sure if it happened differently, but this is kind of how I saw the situation in the chats back and forth, and kind of what I observed or from the follow-up. And so she said, what did she say? Oh, yeah, she said that she wasn't there. She wasn't able to find the girls, but she was, like, at the country club side versus the golf course side. So I was just like, why are you over there? She said, well, the parking is terrible, and I just wanted to check out the bars and things like that. And so the purpose of staying at the resort and things is to, like, be able to network and freestyle and, you know, be where all the other people are. Because if this Celebrity Classic huge event is going on at the resort, then a lot of these people are going to be staying at the resort. Like, the resort was booked. Like, when I say here, say booked. It was like no rooms so available. So she was just checking out to see if anybody was there, but everybody was mostly at, you know, the tournament. So I was like, hey girl, I'm just pulling up to the tournament. I'm parking. This is my location. This is where I'm at, and we can enter through this side. So she was like, okay. So still haven't heard from the other girls. And so we ended up, you know, walking into, again, me and Dana, we ended up walking into the tournament. We ended up seeing Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And, you know, all these people are just like, hey, we're trying to take a picture with you, Carlton. Da, da, da. Like, so we see these different celebrities, and we see crowds of people, and then you see girls. You could tell that the girls were flocking because some girls were wearing heels. First and foremost, this is a golf course. Second, it rained, stormed, flooded yesterday. So not only is it grass, but it's wet, muddy grass. And then the third situation is these people know who are used to being around these circles and don't, because the girls who are used to being in these circles, they don't stand out in a way where they're not dressed appropriate, meaning in heels and stuff. You can kind of tell that you're trying to fish or hunt for something. So me and Dana, we were kind of giggling about that, but we were taking a look, we were making our rounds and things like that, and I was like, okay, cute outside, the views is giving, But I was like, everybody is like really spectating. Everybody's quiet. They're watching this game. So we kind of went to a spot where it was going to be an elevated clubhouse where it was stairs and you're going to get inside and look over the golf course. So I was like, let's kind of stumble in here. So we stumbled in there and inside. Once we got inside and things like that, everything was free. They kept on getting free alcohol. How, you want another shot? You want another shot? You want another shot? And they gave free peach cobbler, free food, free virtual golfing lessons, everything. And we had free hats. And it kind of reinforced that these companies make money off of broke people, like the designers and things like that. They make their money off of people who are broke, who are saving up a paycheck to buy that bag or to buy them shoes or to buy that watch or to buy that piece of jewelry, because the wealthy people, they get everything for free. So they were just giving away all this free stuff. And again, I'm still not drinking. I haven't, at this point, what is it? It's May. I haven't drunk anything in a year. And when was my last drink? December? So, a year and 5 months. So, like a year and a half. I haven't drunk alcohol in like a year and a half. So, I wasn't drinking on this trip too. Yeah, we were drinking and stuff like that. And we heard that the celebrities were going to be coming. Whoever won the Celebrity Classic, they were going to be coming and taking pictures and signing autographs. And like, this place up here was only for like the exclusive. Like, I don't know how we ended up getting up here, because I don't think our tickets included that. But the way we just kind of maneuvered our way up into the box office, we maneuvered our way up into the box office. So we're just up here taking pictures. And so we end up sitting down and getting a table. There were like high top tables everywhere. And, you know, just chit chatting. And then we had groups of people coming in. And they were younger crowds. They were kind of like our age and younger, like in their 20s to late 30s, maybe early 40s. A girl or two in their early 40s. And some of them were married, some of them were engaged, and some of them were girl with girl, like just girlfriends. And so, yeah, they were just like, yeah, we're part of the yacht club. Yeah, we're part of another country club. Yeah, we're just in the market for a new, club to join. Like, and we just do these social mixers and minglers, and we just hang out and just all of the wealthy things that wealthy people talk to. So we were exchanging contact information. We were taking pictures with one another. We were just really, really having a good time, enjoying ourselves. So we were just talking and connecting, getting phone numbers, and getting invited to the next spot. So this right here is the free hats we got. So we got this free hat. It's super cute. Giving very much, we golf. We do this. And then I got the blue, the white on blue, and the blue on white. They had blue on blue and white on white, but I thought these two were the cutest. So I got these two hats. And Dana ended up getting a free speaker. Again, another guy ended up getting I think it's like some kind of laser that measures your swing or accuracy or something. He got that. Again, it was so much free stuff to get. So we were just talking and mixing and mingling and taking pictures with all these women who actually do this, and you could tell by how they dressed. They were in very much golf attire, and you can kind of tell they do this. It's like, girl, you coming to the next event? So we were just socializing and mixing and mingling. And so then once the celebrity, the winner of the golf tournament came in, I think just from winning the tournament, he won $1.2 million or something like that. He ended up coming into the box office, taking pictures with people, signing autographs, and this is where the wealthy came in. The wealthy came in this instance, baby, because when I tell you, those old filthy money started strolling in, and this is when, we're over here making our rounds. So
there you are, you're looking gorgeous.
Beautiful.
we had a really, really great time. We had a good time. Now, we didn't hear from Carly. Don't know what happened to her. But I wasn't sure. She might have had a date, might have had something. I don't know. But again, when it came to the communication and, I don't know what happened to her. And Zadia left. She had to catch a flight. So, yeah. And then Zena, again, she was kind of, I don't know. Didn't hear from her. But me and Dana, like I said, we put every place we were going in the chat, and the girls were available to come. But also, you have to understand, there's different groups of women. There's women who just need an opportunity to get out with somebody else who's really about it, to kind of motivate them to get out there, or just to give them second opinions, just to, get out there and make it happen. And then there's girls that, may kind of, not be ready yet to, put in that effort and that energy and all of the things. So there's just different classes of girls, or somebody could have been going through something. I don't know. But they ended up not coming through to the thing. So I was telling Dana, I was like, girl, we had such a great time. We made some great connections. I was like, let's get something to eat. But I don't want to pay for it. So what are we going to do? And she said, girl, what are we going to do? I said, pick me. I know the answer. So I ended up going to another spot in a very, very nice area. It is like a neighborhood, kind of a high-end neighborhood, kind of, only if you live over here, that this is over here. So we went to like a cute little live music, seafood spot. And so as I pulled up, Dana was already parked. And I was parking. The valet was like, hey, all the parking's full. You're going to have to valet. And I usually don't valet here. But I was just like, okay, fine. He was like, don't even worry about paying. Just go over there and valet. You can park next to the white car. I was like, okay, cool. So I parked over to the white car. And the reason I know this is because one of the guys that I talked to, he goes here often whenever he's in town. And so I was just like, okay. I know him. I know his friends. I know their crowd. I have done a one-on-one shadow here, and we came into money up there. So I was like, yeah, if we want to eat something and we don't want to pay for it, for sure, it's going to be taken care of. So I ended up parking, and Dana was waiting in her car for me. And as soon as I step out of the car, I see my guy. I'm like, Captain, is that you? We're going to call him Captain. And so he was like, Kadrian? And yeah, he calls me Kadrian too. So I was like, hey. And then he was like, what are you doing? I was like, just hanging out. I actually, because he has a beautiful house on the golf course. He has a party house. Like when I tell you a bachelor's pad, his house is beautiful. I was going to do a speed dating with some of my guys, at his house and stuff like that, and some of his friends like that, at like a private speed dating thing at his place. But again, I don't like to do things with women I don't know, I've never met, because like some are funny acting, some don't know how to behave, and others, you're responsible for whoever you bring in somebody's house. So I ended up not doing it. But this was the guy that I would have done it with. And so he was like, oh, so you're spending this evening with me? I said, I guess I am. Let me go get my girl. She's in a car. So before we can even get in, and I didn't call him. I did not know this man was going to be here. I just knew where to come. So I went to go get Dana. Dana gets out her car. I introduce them. Dana, this is Captain. Captain, this is Dana. And so we go ahead and we go inside. And he introduces us to, his table of friends. Again, all his table of friends, all older gentlemen, they got money. So we just chit chat and talk, and, he says, order whatever you want, get whatever you want. So we're ordering, drinking, all of the things, listening to, the live music, Dana's talking and stuff. And that's what I love about her. Dana, she gonna talk. Sis is going to talk. Okay. So, and I love it. And so we had a great time. We ended up wrapping the night up. He walked us to our cars. and all of the things. He was like, yeah, how long is she going to be in town? And I was like, oh, she's probably going to leave over the next couple of days. I was like, why? Are you having like a little get together? Are you having like a little kickback? He was like, no, actually, I wanted to get my pool clean this week. And if she comes back the end of May, then I'm gonna have like a pool party. I can invite some guys over that she might can connect with and all of the things. I was like, that's nice of you, Captain. So like I said, I love how I'm able to put girls on in situations organically and naturally when it just works in place. I did not know that I was gonna run into him, and I did not know that actually I didn't even know he was in town. So it was really a great time. We had a great anytime, like Dallas, this is my city, so I love Dallas. I know the spots, and again, that's kind of like the hiccup when it comes to traveling. Unless you do research, some of the places might be okay, yeah, it's a Michelin stars, a 5 stars, a 4 stars, or whatever the case may be, but everybody's doing that, the minimum, versus knowing the neighborhoods and knowing the little places that these people who live in these neighborhoods go to. It might not be the most glamorous, but when I tell you how much money be in these old establishments, baby, you might need to put in some footwork and get out there and start freestyling. Even in this situation, remember Dana, she ended up going to that one bar that, again, that's like it's a really upscale bar. The day before didn't really get anything, but made the connections with the bartenders and stuff like that. So the following day when she went, the bartender was like, Dana, attorney to your at 9 o'clock, as far as the direction, because it wasn't 9 o'clock at night. It was like 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening. So, she was able to make that connect. So it was a great time. And y'all, I was not planning on telling this story because the story is so long. My camera didn't die. I didn't took an hour and a half, 2-hour nap. And I had to come back to the story. So yeah, I wasn't going to tell the story time. I wanted to do the reaction on the testimony, which again, I'm still going to do it. But it's going to be later on in the week. It's going to be later on in the week. And also, I'm going to do Ruth chapter 2. I'm still going to do that because, again, we're doing weekly Bible study playbacks. We have so many playbacks in the Bible study Glam Chat series that we're doing. And I want to get you girls caught up because it's so important to be in your bag, but most importantly, in your Bible. So I will be getting Ruth chapter 2 up this week. And I wanted to throw you a little story time. I don't know, as you know, I might have a story time, or two, to give y'all here and there. But I know y'all really like the drama and the juicy and the, and I feel like now that my channel has changed and we kind of, did like a little brand change, a little here and there, a little 1-2-1-2, it's going to be way less, mess and trifling stuff and all of the things. It might be a hiccup or two, but when it's not all that drama, it's less exciting when it comes to telling the story times, which I'm okay for it. Like I enjoy meeting the girls. I had a great time. I literally enjoyed myself. But again, it's Dallas. I love it here. I love it here. So I pray you girls have an amazing week. And I will definitely get out another video before the end of this week. And I pray if you are a mother, you had a great Mother's Day. And yeah, check out our Patreon. We are going over the laws in the Bible. We just got done with breaking down the book of Revelations. We broke down the book of Ruth. We broke down Deuteronomy chapter 28. We also broke down, as you can see, as we're going over Ruth and things of that nature. So definitely check in with us as we are diving deeper into our walks with Christ and things of that nature. I still do coaching. I do, if you're needing assistance with, dating, what to say, how to handle something, as long as you are open to me praying with you on our coaching call. In addition to that, we are discussing only things pertaining to men who are single. They're not married, okay? So they are available, legally available. Then I'm your girl. And as long as they're men, okay? So if you got a girl you want to tell me about, I can't, since I can't help you, I'm not the one. Yeah, if he married, since I can't help you, I'm not going to get into that. So I am not the one for that. I am about my Father's business. And I'm so grateful that I know so many of you girls are too. So I am doing coaching calls still. And I just had to be specific because I have a lot of coaching calls that I've had to kind of like, turn down or whatever the case may be, or, because again, it doesn't align with something. It's something within that call or something without in your inquiry that doesn't align with who I serve. So, but if you're okay with me praying over you, and it's about someone who's single and available, then baby, I'ma assist you with the words to say. I'ma tell you how to do what it do. I'ma let you know. So, you girls have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.